We are live.
Hi. How's your day been going, Alejandro?
My day?
Yes.
It's been going well. It's been a long day, but it's been fine. How about yours?
It's been good. I mean, I don't have
Nice.
any complaints.
That's awesome.
Yes. But anyways, while people get the notification that we're live, um, what about you tell me like some tips that you can give to anyone who's looking for an internship right now?
Some tips. Oof. Well, I mean, it's yeah. I think it's very important to start making a plan. So a mistake that I see that many people make is like they put all of their eggs in one basket. They apply to the same 5 companies that everyone's applying to, and if something goes wrong and they don't get into these companies, I mean, they don't have any other options. Like, they only apply to those. So I think a good thing to do is to
Hi, Paola.
yeah, like do a lot of research and find different companies, and yeah, like
Hi, Neil. Oh,
eh,
they're already sending us messages by hi everyone. We're going to start with the Q&A. It's an open Q&A. This is like not scripted. Also go follow Augment. Our friend Neil is here. Pretty cool things they're doing as well, like InternMakers, and go follow them. But hey, like ask us anything regarding internships, anything that you want. We don't have a script right now. It's just to answer any questions. We're going to be here for 30 minutes. So any questions, let us know. So Frederick is talking about conferences. So recently we spoke to someone who's like in organizations nationwide, and we asked them like what their perspective was for like this whole situation that was going to happen with COVID. And trust me, like they're still figuring it out. And we're trying to like be in the loop so we can inform you and like teach you what are the ways to actually I don't know, how could you say it, like bring the best of it.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's gonna be very interesting. Like it looks like the conferences are want to see like how they can have a career fair in a virtual world. So it's interesting because like they're thinking about doing like breakout rooms where there can be a limit of people that can be like inside there talking with the recruiters, or just like different ways of doing that. It's still pretty unclear how they're gonna do it, but it's gonna be pretty interesting.
It's going to
Uh,
be very interesting.
a great tip for conferences is to always upload your resume before the conference starts.
Yeah.
That's like a must do. So yeah, if you're planning on going to a conference, as soon as they open up their website and they allow you to upload your resume, just do it.
So just as a in case you didn't know, almost every what's it called, like conference that you go to, they normally always have a portal where you can upload like you can even find jobs that are only open for that specific conference. So if you think about it, when you are thinking of going to a conference, a lot of the companies that are going have positions that are only going to be filled by those people in the conference. So a lot of the times when you apply, when you pay to go to these conferences, they have in the portal a lot of job listings that you can actually apply to through there, and only you will be there, like you will be competing like with other people who are also uploading their resume, competing, like sometimes they have more than like 5 positions for the same thing. So that's just as a heads up. Any upcoming conferences, I honestly don't know right now. I need to check. I need to get with it as well to share that information with you all.
Yeah, there is one called RTC, Rewriting the Code. It's going to be a virtual conference. It's mostly focused on tech. Also SHPE, yeah, as you mentioned, like Frederick. Yeah,
Frederick Sweet. I know Alpha. I think I don't know if they already had it or it's gonna be at the end of July. Like this month, I'm not really sure. I also know they're like promoting a lot of speaker events. For example, Femilian has one. Um, I also saw one about like creators in tech, I believe. So there's a lot going on. I think Alejandro and I have a homework to do and make a list for all of you so that you can have those there. And actually, there's a lot of scholarships that Google gives out and Microsoft so that you can actually go to those what's it called, like conferences for free. Hi, Hola Seni, or Hola Sheni, sorry. Correct me. I always forget how to pronounce it to have that correctly. Yes, go follow my friend. He has his hashtag Sheni Speaks, and he's awesome. He was featured for a what's it called? I think Wall Street Journal. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. um, what else? So, does anybody have any questions? Like, ask anything. We're here to help you. We don't have a script. We don't have a topic. Like, go ahead.
I hope you all have some good questions prepared. Yeah, just let us know.
Let us know. Let us know. Hi, Chaklo.
Hey, everyone.
Oh my god, that's funny. Thank you for correcting me. Yeah, what questions does everybody have? Also, as I mentioned, Chaklo is having her online conference for female speakers. Go check that out. It's gonna be awesome. Hi, governess.
Hey.
Cover
letter. Okay, so this is a good one.
It's a good one.
Yeah, there's a big love-hate relationship with cover letters, like from different recruiters. Some recruiters hate cover letters. They say that they will never read a cover letter in their life. But some recruiters actually think it's very important. Like if there are two candidates that are tied, like there's need to be a tiebreaker between those two. It's gonna be the cover letter. And what you can actually put in your cover letter, you can actually put things like why you want to work for this company, what things you can bring to the table, and you just have to like go all out. Like if you read about the company, if you read about their mission, what they want to do, and why you really want to work there, that can like set you apart from other people that don't write a cover letter or like write like a generic one.
About this topic, it's really interesting. I saw a post the other day, or I don't know if it was in one of the videos we recently uploaded today, and this person gave the advice that some recruiters told them that, let's say you're in a tie with someone else, your cover letter can really help you break that tie. I think if you have the time, it doesn't hurt to have a cover letter. Another thing that I would really tell you is there's a difference between writing what you already have on your resume than actually showing what you know and how like passionate you're about that company. I feel like we recently we read some cover letters, and some of them were just like saying, oh, like I know this, but some were saying how much they cared about like the company, and that was like super huge. Super huge. And I think it makes a huge difference. So I don't know if there's any more questions about cover letters, but let's go to another topic if that's fine. Let's see. So cold email versus.
Well, let's do this one. What's the best way for students to network with people around? So when you say people around, you mean like other students or other professionals? Well, let's do like a little bit of both. I think one amazing way to network with professionals is to like try to find professionals that are alumni from the university where you study at. So those are the best source for like getting your foot at the door of a specific company. So they went to your same school, you have something in common. You can just message them and say like, hey, I know that you're working here. I went to the same school that you did. Let's connect. I would love to talk with you a little bit more. That's like a great way. Another one is to just like cold message people and ask if you can like talk with them. If you feel like you have nothing in common, maybe in that first conversation you'll find something that you have in common. Do you want to add something, Mariana?
Yes. I always think about networking, how you build relationships, right? And if we go back to the basics of what relationships are, is how you give value to each other. And value, it can be seen in so many ways. I mean, just think about it, like it's not always professional. It's just like that, hey, like I support you, I cheer you on, and it's vice versa. And it's such a, and that's how you start building relationships as well. I know in the last webinar that we had, I gave this advice, like if you want to reach out to recruiters and you want to create a relationship with them, an easy way you can add value to them is telling them if they need help spreading the word in any event that they might host for your school or online or LinkedIn. Like honestly, just wanting to help someone in any way you can helps you build so much, you know. And remember that helping doesn't have to be a huge thing. It can be such something simply just as like I don't know, I can't think of anything. um we'll be back to that. No, I'm kidding. No, something as simple as like sending them an article about something they're interested in. You know, I have a friend who honestly almost every day she sends me a resource because she knows I'm really into like InternMakers and stuff. And she's so resourceful, and I love her for that. Like I never ask her, she just does it. And I feel like that's a great way for you to show that you care. You know, that's a good way to show that you value them.
Yeah, and if you do things like that, like, they won't forget about you. Like they will for sure know who you are. They will remember you. And if for some reason it doesn't work out and you don't get the offer, like that relationship will stay there, and you can keep like stay in touch. And maybe next year, maybe like some other day that can help you out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me see. I think we had one about cold messaging versus cold cold
email.
versus LinkedIn messages.
Yeah, I mean, I think doing anything like that is cold, like this, like any type of cold message is really it's difficult. Like I've done both, and um, in any type of cold message, like most of the times you will not get any response, and that's just how it is. But I think they're both great. Like if you find the person on LinkedIn, then just like go for it, like send a message. But if you cannot find their information, if you only have their email, that's also a great way to communicate with them. I guess if you see that they're not very active on a certain platform, you can just go to like for the other one. But yeah.
So I think that in my personal experience, every time I called a message, I tried to also show how genuine I am about my intentions. So I do my research before I reach out to someone. Like I like to see what they're about. You know, maybe on LinkedIn I can find some posts they've made, and I can like correlate something there. You know, I feel like when you cold message, it's really nice to tell someone that you appreciate what they do. In my perspective, when I get messages, I I tend to feel more empathy towards someone who says, "Thank you so much for the effort that you do," because I feel like somebody is appreciating what I do, right? And I feel like that goes for anyone doing anything. Like if you actually take the time to know what they do, and all of that, it can make you have a better message for them. So I think that's a really important thing, and that's why you should always read the about me sections in people's profiles. That's a really good place where you can find information about them. And I really recommend you to write a good one as well, something that can also help people have a good conversation with you. So let's do another question.
Yeah,
So,
I have a good one right here.
yes.
So what section of your resume can have hackathons or relevant summits? So I would say I don't think that you should add like if you go to a conference, let's say, like if you just attend some of these places and you don't really show that you got something out of it, that's not as valuable. But for example, if you go to a hackathon and you actually work with a team and you work with a project, you could add that in the project section of your resume. So if you actually completed something, you can just say, you just talk a little bit about your project, talk a little bit about the size of your team, things like that. So yeah, like the most important reason why you would add something like this in your resume is if you participated or you did something like in there.
Yeah, I don't have anything to add to that, so let's move on to another.
This is a great question, Aminu. As always.
There's a lot more than to what we just said, so we don't mind answering it again.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult, and it like also like with people who are already like working on their full-time jobs, like sometimes they don't have a lot of time to spend like answering like every single like message, or if you request like a 15-minute meeting, like something like that, like sometimes you won't get that response, and that's just how it is. But it's also like, it's always important to just try to like do your best to connect, like as Mariana mentioned, like just read about them, like their profile, see like where school they went to. If you see that they were an international student, maybe just mention something about that if you are one as well. Or if you see that they were at a certain organization and you also were in that, just like try to make that message into something that you may have in common.
Yeah.
It's a good way.
I'm curious to know, I mean, be more specific, like what type of networking are you interested in? I mean, I'm putting you in the spot, right? I'm sorry, but I feel like we can help you. I feel like we can help you better, right? Recently we spoke to a really good friend of ours. He's really good at networking, and he always told us, know what you're networking for. It might be because you want someone to help you. It might be because you want to help someone. It might be because you have something in common. So I feel like when you identify what your networking
What you goal?
reason is or goal, it can also be easier for you to be more genuine about it. Yeah.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. But if we still don't have any more questions, I think what else should we talk about, Alejandro? Something that could be really useful.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important for everyone to know that interviews are difficult. Like you have to practice for interviews, even if it's just behavioral interviews. Like something that happened to me was that I felt like I didn't need to practice for behavioral interviews because I mean, they're asking me about myself, right? Like it's easy, it's simple. I'm just gonna like tell them stories about myself. Well, it's super hard actually. If they ask you the simplest question, that is, tell me about yourself, you can go on and on and on and on, just talking about stuff that doesn't matter. So it's definitely important to practice.
All right. So we have another question from Tomas. And actually, Gutierrez is my second last name, in case anybody didn't know. But I'm Mexican, and in Latin culture, a lot of time, well, all the time, we have two last names almost all the time. And my second one is Gutierrez. I should start like using it more. Definitely.
Yeah. So what are some key tips for standing out in virtual networking events, career first? Well, this is a tough one because, like, yeah, there haven't been many virtual networking career events like this one, but something that I think it's important is to figure out who will be attending like this these events. So let's say that there's going to be a workshop or there's going to be a presentation, and usually, like for these conferences, you will have an agenda and you will know who will be speaking at these like events. So something that you can do is to like reach out to these people beforehand, and just tell them like, hey, I'm gonna be at the conference. I'm gonna be at this event. That would be really cool. Like I'm really looking forward to hearing more about it. Then afterwards, you can follow up, and you can just say, hey, I really love that event. I really love everything you said, and I would love to keep in touch. And you can like start that relationship based on that first event that you attended. Yeah, I think that's a good tip.
I think that also, and this is just like in general for career fairs, and networking events. I think that sometimes let's go back to a little bit about conferences. In conferences, normally they have a lot of events regarding the same company. I feel like if you go to all of them, it makes you stand out. It does. People remember who you are if you go to every single event. I personally would always make sure to go up to them and make them memorize my face, basically. That's how bad I wanted it. So I think I'm thinking it would be really nice to invite someone who's in charge of virtual career fairs to get their perspective. So let me know if you're interested, and we have a couple of friends who are in that like area of volunteering. and maybe they have better insight for us regarding like online presence for those events, for learning from the experts. Because honestly, just like all of you, it's our first time that we ever see this. Hey, Stephanie. And also, well, Stephanie also has MaxUp, which does a lot of things similar to InternMakers. So go follow her as well. I'm giving a shout out to everyone who can help you. And yeah, going back to the topic, what was I saying? Yes, let us know if you want someone from from those, so that we can explain more about how we can get the best out of these virtual career fairs.
Yeah, we have a somewhat specific question about coding, but yeah. So a strategy for lead code. One really good strategy is to like start with the easiest problems. What I really like tell people to do, like if you start with HackerRank, like hackerrank.com, and you start with the easiest challenges, those are super, super, super easy. Even if you have like no background or are not as good, like you can start with the HackerRanks on easy, and then go to lead code easy, then go back to HackerRank on medium, then go lead code medium, and so on. So that's a good strategy for you to practice for coding interviews.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and just as a little interruption and promotion, so we will be having a collaboration with MaxUp and Stephanie in, I think, well, yeah, it's August 1st, so stay
Yeah.
tuned. We still haven't released a lot of information, but it's gonna happen, and it's gonna be a workshop. So it's not gonna be us talking all the time. We're actually going to help you guys write messages. You'll hear more about it, but it's actually a workshop. So keep your eye on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Another question that we have here. So we have one that says, I'm from Bangladesh and I came to work at Microsoft. Can I apply for Microsoft internships outside Bangladesh? What do you mean exactly outside Bangladesh? Like, you're meaning in the US? If you are,
Yeah. So I think it's always possible, as long as yeah, as you can, like if you can get like some work authorization, like you should be good to go, and that would depend on the country, like where you're applying to. So it really depends. I don't like to give that answer, but yeah, I will advise you to ask recruiters and see what they like, what they say.
I
But
recommend. So for that, there's a university recruiting group for Microsoft. If you didn't know that, message me and I can send you a link to that group so you can get there. And that's where they have all of their information. But just so that you know, Microsoft does hire international students. They're super global. I've met people from all over the world there that actually study outside the US. So like, don't worry about it. Like my answer to you would be yes, you can totally apply and you can totally get in. And yes, message me so I can get you into that university recruiting group where there's actual recruiters putting things there. So do that. Also, hi to Sakshi. I just met her recently, and she also has like an organization called Scholarship Track, and she puts out a lot of scholarships. Definitely go follow them as well. I know we're giving you a lot of resources, but that's what we're all here for. So go follow her as well. And yes, I think I'm going to also ask something else, which is I wanted to know how important it is getting accepted, participating in exploratory events, example, McKinsey, FDLA, and are they more of achievements or leadership experience? Ooh, I love this question.
really
I'm
good.
gonna always do that. Like programs, exploratory events, they are sometimes the events that get your foot on the door.
Oh yeah.
Always go for them. Apply to all of them. Like it's gonna be great. Like if you get accepted into them, you're gonna meet people who are like-minded. You build your network. You meet recruiters. You get told information that nobody knows except for you. And do it. And don't what's it called? I wouldn't recommend you to like limit yourself. I have friends who like in a year go to 10. and they love them, and they do get interviews after that. Like basically what I know and what I've heard is after you go to these exploratory events, a lot of them are selective. So it's not like you apply and you get selected automatically. When you do get selected, you kind of already pass like a screen. So that also gives you a lot of access towards interviews that a lot of people don't have. So always, and this exists for so many majors. Like go and look for those exploratory events. They're so important.
Yeah, and I mean, on the company side of view, like on their point of view, like these events, they are their way of getting out there and like getting information about students and seeing if they're like a good match for an internship. So internships work for companies to see if a student would be a good worker after they graduate, and these ones they help to see if they would be good for an internship. So these are amazing, amazing. You just go to as many as you can. They may not be to get experience per se, but you would definitely learn a lot about the company. You would learn about like the people that work there, and you would, as Marina like mentioned, like, network with people that go to you along the way as well.
Besides programs, another thing I really recommend you to apply to is keep your eye out for scholarships. Scholarships got me my first internship. It was because I got a scholarship that they flew me to a conference and they gave me an internship. So a lot of the times scholarships actually open doors as well. Never underestimate the power of scholarships. Plus, they help you pay for tuition.
Plus it's money, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know if there's any more questions. We still have like 4 or 5 more minutes. We're gonna be doing this weekly to help you with any questions, at least for July. Maybe afterwards we'll do it once every 2 weeks, and we're gonna be doing it for 30 minutes. Any questions, no script. We're here for you.
Correct. Yeah. Just feel free to reach out. Also, if you have any questions, like message us on any social media. We'll be more than happy to help you out.
How much impact? Okay, so how much impact does How much impact does a self-startup, part-time, self-employed can have while applying to tech companies? A lot.
Yeah. I mean, as long as you're getting experience of some way, of some kind, it's gonna be good. Like for example, I started building websites as a like freelancer, and it was like really good experience. Like that experience helped me get my first job, like on campus, and then it was like a web development job. So it helped me like, yeah, I just kept learning and learning and learning, and in the end, like some of these struggles or stories that you end up with because of your projects really help you during your interviews. So yeah, it definitely has like a huge impact.
I think also self-startups show a lot of how much initiative you have, how much drive you have. Having a startup is not easy. It's far from easy. And I think that in my perspective, so before I don't know if you knew this, but InternMakers is like the evolution of many projects that Alejandro and I had with other students. We had like another like nonprofit organization, and we would be able to talk about these things, and people would be really impressed. And what I would tell anyone is definitely like self startups, making your own organizations, your own programs, shows how much you're willing to like challenge the status quo as well. Like if you don't like something, you'll come up with something new that is fixing a problem, because almost everything that we like as humans create, if you think about it, fixes a problem, right? A necessity. And I think that this mentality really helps anybody who wants to get into tech, because at the end of the day, tech is made to help people make their lives easier, right? But yeah, I think that's like my answer. I know Sam has another question about how I got a scholarship that led me to an interview offer. Yes, so there's a lot of scholarships that have sponsors. So try to look for those scholarships that are like from organizations, any affiliated organization. By what I mean by this is like there's so many like for majors, for minorities, so many like affinity groups, and I applied to one that was for Hispanics, and they have, I think, like around 200 sponsors, and some of those, once they give you the like the scholarship, they meet with you, and if they like you, like sometimes they'll offer you an interview like before anybody else, and you have like that fast pass. Also, a lot of the times, like it opens a network for you. Having a scholarship sometimes connects you with people who previously had it, and you don't know where they are at. This can really help you. So in my case, what happened was I got the scholarship. I got flown to Anaheim, California, and they had a career fair. And what they do is sometimes they give you like a medal that distinguishes you from everybody else. So like when recruiters were seeing me, they knew I was a scholar and that I had like gotten a scholarship from them. And that's how I got interviews and eventually my offer. So
Random people would just like go with Mariana and say, "Oh, congratulations."
no,
Yeah. Remember?
I don't remember. Yeah. So that's the answer for that.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna do one last one. Yeah, so should we add summer experiences to our resume, although we haven't finished yet? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, write as much as you can for the description.
Yes, Gary.
But honestly, like if you have just started, it's fine. Like definitely add all your experiences there, because like that just that single line in your resume will maybe lead to a question from a recruiter or an interviewer, and they might ask you, "Hey, what did you do in this internship?" And then you can talk about whatever you were doing. So yeah, definitely add your experiences there.
Yeah, definitely. 100%. Also, Gary recommends MLT and SEO 100%. 100%. He is right. Those two, I think, I don't know how to call them. I don't know if they're nonprofit or not, but basically MLT helps you. What I know about MLT is they help you a lot for business school. Like they give you like a lot of prep for that. Correct me if I'm wrong, Gary. Like add more things if you know about it. And SEO, I have a lot of friends who got into it, and basically what they do is they coach you throughout like recruiting season, and they tell you what to fix and what to tweak. And they have partners, and literally like you get offers from those partners. So it's really awesome. I'll put the links right now after the live session ends so that like people can access it. But they're really good recommendations, 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
So they're calling you out, Alejandro. Are you going to check your resume?
Hey, what's up? Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, just message me in LinkedIn. We can set something up. But
That's like brave, bold people.
yeah, so that's about it for our Q&A for today. Remember, like we will do this every single Wednesday.
For July.
At least for July. Well, so we have like 2 left. But yeah, follow us on all of our social media accounts. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and LinkedIn. So yeah, just follow us like at InternMakers. And yeah, it was great to see you all.
Know that these like live sessions will be for you. Like we're open books. You can make the most straightforward questions. Like we don't get like offended, or we don't mind sharing our experiences.
Yeah, one that is not an offensive question, right?
Yeah. All right. Everybody take care. We're sending you a lot of good vibes, good energy.
And don't forget to follow us.
Have a beautiful week. All right.
Bye.
Bye.